Hey tribe, I love the start of these YouTube lives where I'm on my own here. It's a vibe. If you're new here, I'm Susie. Welcome. I help people ascend. And this is the thing. Someone once said to me, what is the point of it all? Why are we on this earth realm when all we do is suffer? We look around at the state of the earth and the earth is just going through what looks like chaos because the earth is going through big changes and shifts. And then we have our own individual healing processes. You're navigating your dark night of the soul. You're navigating your ego death. And I'll get into that because there's a lot of confusion around that. And there's just so much suffering. You look around, the people in your community, your neighbors, everyone you know is going through something. And it feels like this suffering has just been going on for so long. It feels like there's like ongoing suffering for years and years and years. Maybe you've felt that way for a long time. Okay. Maybe you are now on your awakening journey. Maybe you're just starting to awaken. And what does awakening really mean? Is awakening is realizing who you really are as spirit. Hi, Stoic Mind. Welcome. Good to see you here. Hi, Rita. How you doing? Good to see you guys. Thank you for jumping on board. So I'm just saying, when we awaken, we actually awaken to our true nature, to what we really are. The spirit within us. We're spirit. We're having this human experience. You see me, you see my body, my physical. This is my physical body. We have a spirit body, and our spirit is within us. Okay? And when we awaken, we realize that. Okay? Some people now are just awakening. Maybe you're in the early stages of your awakening journey. Maybe you're so far into it. But the thing is, we're continuously, like when we wake up, we have to stay awake. And what I mean by this is that we need to stay present. Okay. Hi, activated pineal. Good to see you. We are the ones. We are the ones that are awakened. Okay. And many of our brothers and sisters are awakening at this time. You have one goal. Okay. When you wake up, one goal is to stay awake. Okay. And when I say that, I mean you have to stay present, because presence is where it's at. Because when you're present, whatever suffering that you're going through, and there's so many different scenarios that we can be suffering in. Okay, maybe we've just come out of a relationship and your heart's hurting. You go through divorce or whatever. That's a form of suffering, right? Maybe you don't have a relationship with one of your kids at the moment. Maybe they're stopping you from seeing their grandchild, for example. That's another example of suffering. My homeowners just told me recently, okay, we're going to sell the house. And then today, this morning, only like not even an hour ago, I got the 30-day written notice. Like if I was in my head about that, I'd be suffering right now, because I don't even have a place lined up just yet. There's so many different examples where we can suffer. But when we can bring in presence, when we can stay anchored in our breath, because this is where it's at, because there's so much going on externally, okay? And you're able to feel the collective energy, because the more that you wake up, because you're becoming more in tune with your spirit body, not just physical, you're becoming more in tune with your spirit body, so you're able to pick up and feel the collective energy. So you're picking up and feeling that collective energy. You got the space, the solar activity going on, or the X-class solar flares, geomagnetic activity. You're feeling that. Then you're navigating your own shift within. You're navigating all your trauma work. You're facing all the shadows within and lighting them up. That's a lot. That's a lot. So if we're not present at this time, this is where the suffering takes place. We can shift. We can shift internally through presence. And meditation is presence. Okay? Because that's what we are. So when you are awakened to your truest sense of what you really are, that's all you have to do, stay awake. And you're navigating throughout your day. You just keep anchoring yourself in your breath. When you are tested, because people out there right now are testing you right now. This is when you breathe. You anchor yourself in that breath, and you ain't going to feed back that negative energy and cause more suffering to that person who's projecting, and then cause more suffering for yourself. Because remember this, when people project their stuff onto you, it's their unhealed wounds. They're acting unconsciously. They're in their head. They're in their ego. But you're not. You're sliding out of that. You're learning how to do that. Okay, so we need to be mindful of that every single day. And now, whatever's coming up for you right now, because this activity, the energy, the soul activity, the energy, the collective energy has been super intense. This month of June has been super intense. The last full moon that we've just had has been intense. We've got all this energy that we are feeling on such a deep cellular level. There's people I'm talking to who never cried, that are now crying, that are sitting now in meditation and says to me, Susie, I purged, I meditated, I purged. I said, wow, that's a good thing. You know why? Because your heart is now softening. Your heart is now softening and opening. Okay, so you can start to release all the blocks now, because we've had blocks. We've had many blocks. It's been the causes of our suffering because of stuff we went through from childhood, because we went through grief, we lost our loved ones, we went through all this and that, we went through the abuse, we went through the abandonment, but we hold that energy within us. Okay, it's held within us because when we're keeping so busy all the time, okay, always busy, running around, jumping on the phone and scrolling all the time and keeping ourselves like a workaholic, or distracting ourselves. A lot of people distract themselves in so many different ways, whether it's gambling, running around, sleeping with multiple partners, all this sort of stuff. It's all a form of distraction because you're running from yourself, you're running from your true self, and you can't keep running from your true self. When you awaken, this is what we're going through right now. The earth is slowly awakening, people are slowly awakening, but it takes you to anchor in yourself. You need to be anchored. Every single day you be anchored and you hold your light, because that energy is going to emanate. It's so strong. Your energy is so strong. Your energy is so lit. You are the frequency. Okay, we are the ones. Okay, and then we're helping others. We're helping the collective shift at this time. Okay, we have a choice when it comes to suffering. I know it sounds delusional. Oh yeah, I've been through that deep grief. Yeah, I still shed tears for my son Luke. Okay, but I'm learning, and I've learned. Okay, I don't have to sit in that suffering when the grief comes over me. Okay, I can sit there and observe that as the spirit that I am, because I'm not that ego. I'm none of that. Right, I've said this before. I'm not the grief, I'm not the anger, I'm not the shame, I'm not the fear. This is just all part of the ego. Okay, I recognize that. You recognize, pay attention, my friends. Please pay attention, focus at this time. When you're sitting there and you're silent now and you're still, because there's no distractions, because you're allowing yourself to get in touch with your spirit now. You're going inwardly. Allow yourself. Okay, now whatever's going to come up and shift within you now, because you've brought your awareness inward. Okay, your awareness isn't externally now running. Your awareness is now inwardly. And so whatever's coming up for you and surfacing right now, it's such a good thing. You got to shift your perspective now. You have to look at it now. It's like, okay, this is old ass energy trying to come up and shift out of me now, so I can heal, so I can embody more of my spirit, because that's what I am. And you observe that when that grief comes up, or when that anger comes up, or maybe you're feeling guilty still from 10 years ago or whatever. When that comes up, hi Brian, welcome. Good to see you, brother. When those emotions come up, you just witness them, see them. Yes, you're gonna feel them. It's not about running from them. It's not about ignoring them. You fully bring your awareness to it. Say there's a child crying. You pick up the child, you nurture the child. Okay, I got you, baby. You nurture the baby. Look at that now with emotions with you. Hi, Scorpion. Welcome, brother or sister. Sorry. Scorpion, are you a bro or sis? One love to everyone. Okay, so you comfort that baby when the baby's crying. So when you have the emotion come up, okay, you nurture, you come inwardly, you bring all your awareness inwardly. Yeah, this grief is shifting now in my heart. I feel sad. I'm feeling this grief, whatever it may be. Maybe you lost your job. I don't know. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you're grieving your child, your partners, whatever. We all feel that. Okay, so you just bring the awareness now like it's a screaming child within. Come inward now. Okay, bring your full awareness to that emotion. Put all your awareness there. And I promise you, it will shift through your awareness. This is where the suffering happens. Okay, pay attention. This is where the suffering happens. The suffering happens now when the mind gets involved. Okay, because the mind, you watch that ego, you watch it, and you think, you watch and you observe. Okay, you observe all of the different things that this ego is coming up with now, because this grief is here. For example, just talk about grief, because the grief is here. Oh, it's been this many years, I'm still grieving. This is the mind, this is the ego. Okay, oh, I don't want to suffer anymore, I don't want to feel this pain anymore. This is all the ego. Okay, and you start to feel, your mind just starts to just feed that energy more and more and more. Again, you're working yourself up more and more and more. And then your mind's just taking you here, there, everywhere, taking you back to the past. The past is done. We can't go back in time. We can't bring our loved ones back. Okay? And taking you to the future. Oh, but I wish it was this way. This is the mind. Watch the mind. Observe the mind. Study the mind 24/7 just by observing it. So when that emotion's coming up, trying to shift, and you start getting in your head, okay, you're slowing down the process of your healing and you're putting blocks there. When that energy is trying to shift, you're putting blocks there because of here, the mind, the ego. So whatever's trying to shift within you, maybe it's anger. Yeah, because we can suffer when anger comes up. We have a choice. Can I be present? How can you bring yourself back to presence when it's thick, when it's intense? You're really being tested right now. You bring yourself back to your breath. That's where you anchor yourself back into your breath. See yourself like a tall, strong, solid tree. See yourself like that, because that's what you are. You're strong, you're tall, and you're solid. We've navigated this earth walk. Remember that. The most densest earth, this earth has been so dense, one of the most densest realms that we've lived on. But all that's shifting because we're shifting internally. So whatever's coming up, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm going to experience this, Phil. I'm going to feel it so I can heal it and let it go. And the more that you do this, you start to realize more and more your true nature. It's helping you to awaken, to realize who you are. If you look around at the world collectively, all this suffering and all this stuff that's going on, okay, it is actually, there's this beautiful silver lining there. Because when we go through great suffering, okay, we get to that point, especially when you suffer so deeply. When you suffer so deeply, you get to that point where you have nothing left but your spirit, because that's all that matters, is your spirit. And you start to realize you're awakening more and more. You're realizing, whoa, yeah, this is me. Actually, I'm awakening. This is enlightenment. I'm not that. I can observe these feelings and experience these feelings as they come up. I can observe this mind and listen to all the stories that this mind and ego is telling me. Like fear, for example. Fear is another thing. How many people are living in fear right now because of all the propaganda and stuff that they're pumping out there? People are living in fear. People putting those news stations on and going on social media and being fed all these fear timelines. Now they're in their head now. Oh my God, crisis of living. Oh no, food shortages. Oh no, war zones, all this and that. And people are living in a state of fear, and that's the energy now that they've got the energy within and they're emanating that energy externally. And it's energy pollution. And those people who are responsible for all those things, firstly, they're creating their own karma. Secondly, they know exactly what they're doing. So when I say hold your light and I stay present, I mean hold your light and stay present, because then you're helping others, you're pulling others out of the fear zone, because we are the beacons of light. And the more that we can stay present, we're helping the whole collective shift at this time. So then the shit's going down externally. Like, I've got 30 days to be out of my home here. I could be in the fear zone right now, but I'm not going to fear, because I surrender and I trust the universe has a plan for me. The universe is going to place me exactly where I need to be able to spread the message of love and light, and to walk around in my community as a beacon of light. And that's what you guys are here to do. This is why you're here today. This is why you've awakened to your true self, to your true nature. So don't snooze throughout the day. Okay, stay awake, constantly stay present, no matter what you're navigating. And there's a lot of people, I know you've seen that, they talk about in the New Age spiritual community, there's a lot of division out there. They're talking about, the two worlds split. Okay, this is my toke. I appreciate you too, Stoic Mind. Thank you. This is the two worlds split, my perspective on the two worlds split. Okay, because it's a state of consciousness. It's where you're out of state of consciousness. If you're in your ego, you're in a 3D state of consciousness. You're getting around like that. You're projecting your shit onto people. You're unhealed. You're not even trying to heal. You're consumed in all the media. You're consumed in consumerism. You're consumed in materialism. Your morals are just completely different. You're not worrying about putting love and light into the world. You're creating bad karma. That's a 3D state of mind. But then you got the other split, 3D, 5D split. People that are awakening, they're realizing their true divinity. They're realizing who they are. They're acting out of good karma. They're clearing out all their bad karma. They're going inwardly. They're doing the inner work. They're lighting up all the shadows. They're staying present. They're putting love out into the world. They're kind to the animals. You don't want to hurt anything. I had mice in my house not long ago. Everyone's like, get the trap. I was like, no, I went and bought those little things. The mouse would go in it. You'll catch a mouse in it. 7 p.m. at night, dark. I live in the country. There's no street lights. I'm in my van delivering a mouse, driving 2 kilometers down the road, deliver the mouse. That was me every night for like a while until all the mice went. It was like, kill the mouse. I'm like, no, because I'm in my heart. Okay, the kingdom to heaven is within. So that's how the two worlds split. You have a look around now, you can see so clearly, it's very visible, who are actually choosing to access the kingdom of heaven, which is within. You see others who are not even, they have no idea. And even if you try to tell them about it, they don't want to hear it because they're not ready to. And that's why when I put that little post up the other day, it's like we can plant seeds, but we can't awaken people because it's a process. And people will awaken in their own time. Okay? But we don't have to suffer through this process, whatever is going on for us. Okay? Because people are going to test you right now. I have been tested a lot by people's unconsciousness. Okay? Like I don't even use Facebook. And recently, because it was suggested to me, why don't you go on Facebook and put up some ads because I'm trying to find a new rental right now. I said, all right, I'll give that a go then. I went on the Facebook and I started adding myself to all these different local community pages. I put my ad up, I'm hustling, I put my ad here and there. I cannot believe how toxic this Facebook is and how people are projecting and speaking and acting so unconsciously. Okay? Yeah, right? And Rita says being tested, all right? So yeah, I've seen that post about planting seed, right? Good. So people are acting so unconsciously and saying things. Even on a couple of the posts I went on anonymously, and there were people in there commenting and saying all things. Why are you anonymous? And then the next person's commenting on that. Yeah, it looks sus to me. And I'm just observing all this, and I'm like, right, I didn't come on here for this shit. I come here because I'm looking for a home. But my ego could come forward. I'm not there anymore. You see, the younger me was there. My ego would come forward and start feeding that. Oh, none of your business. Oh, F you. Oh. No, because that's not how I'm trying to operate. Because then I'll cause myself more suffering. Because when you're putting that energy out there, that's the energy you're going to bring back to you. Understand the law of resonance, the law of attraction. What we're putting out there, we're bringing back in. Okay, so I'm like, I breathe through it then. This one testing me. And then there's another post as well that I put up, and then people are on there, and then 2 people having an argument, get out of my country, and things like this. Wow. There's such division. Yeah, you're a Yank, get out of my country. And this is on this post for me looking for a home. And I'm like, I breathe through that and I come straight off it because I don't need to partake in that sort of energy. So protect your energy. When I say protect your energy, you come across some low vibrational energy, veer off it. You don't need that. What do you need it for? Because your mind, because the ego is so curious. The ego is so addicted to gossip and drama. Now, I was that youngster. When I was youngster, I was that youngster that was into all the fashion and all that. And I was want to buy the material things. I was that youngster that would partake in those little gossip magazines, those gossip Hollywood magazines. When I was a youngster, that was me. Get that, read, caught up in that. And I'm like, that's not how to go about it because that's the ego. So we're shifting so much. Presence is key. You stay present, you realize who you are because your spirit ain't about gossip. Your spirit ain't about drama. Your spirit ain't about division. Your spirit ain't about hatred. How can you hate? You can't hate. When you get to that point where you really realize who you are, how can you hate? Because we're all one. Doesn't matter who hurt you. We've been hurt before. We have suffered. We have suffered. I have suffered. Okay, but I transcend my suffering through presence. And through presence is where you realize who you really are. Because then when your child ain't talking to you, for example, or your partner walked out on you, for example, or your best friend just turned their back on you, for example, or maybe you're homeless, or whatever it is, when you really know who you are, you know that the universe has your back. There's no room for worry. There's no room to sit there and feel like a victim because you're not a victim, because you know that all of these here is helping you to advance, to level up. Because you look back in your life at all those trials and tribulations that you went through, did they not help you level up? Look how wise you are now. Bang, you spread that wisdom now. You spread that wisdom to your friend. Maybe you spread that wisdom to your child or to your partner, or you're just talking to someone in the store and you spread that wisdom. That's spreading love. And this is what this time is about. It's about spreading the love. Hi Tracy, sister, good to see you all the way from Canada. Good to see you. So we're spreading that love. This is what this time is about. Okay, new earth. This is the new earth frequency. This is the pure, organic ascension timeline right here. If you resonate and you're new here, feel free to subscribe. This ain't no BS here on this channel. This is how we ascend. We ascend through our hearts and we ascend through presence. And that's it all throughout the day. Keep bringing yourself back to breath. Okay? Keep bringing yourself back to breath. People testing you, you bring yourself back to breath. Okay? You got emotions overwhelming you. These emotions are intense. They're coming out now because they're coming out to be purified. So you can let it go. You bring yourself back to breath. Yeah, I've got this. Okay? Let your ancestors see the warrior that you are. Okay? And maybe you're the one in your bloodline that's choosing to transmute all of that from your lineage. Let your ancestors see the warrior that you are. Yeah, we have moments where we feel knocked down. We have moments where we feel defeated. But your spirit will never, ever be defeated. I'll say that again. Your spirit will never, ever, ever be defeated. And when it comes to grief, the more you recognize who you are, the more your grief will shift. Because you realize the spirit is here to stay. Spirit is everywhere. Okay? Stoic Mind has been homeless for 6 months. I'm sorry that you've been homeless for 6 months, bro. That's a long time. And while we're all here together, let us put a prayer out that our Stoic Mind here can have a home, a roof over. Are you? I'm assuming you're a guy, right? That Stoic Mind can have a home over his or her head. And that the universe provides you with every single thing that you need, and that you can find yourself on a deeper level and call it all in and manifest it, sending you strength. And that's what we do. We pray for our brothers and sisters. Someone once said to me that, oh, but I don't pray because I'm spiritual. Yeah, I thought you were male. I felt that. Someone once said to me, I don't pray because I'm spiritual. And I'm like, I'm spiritual. I've never been religious, and I pray. Because when I pray, it's that spoken word. It's so powerful. We're putting that out into the universe. Prayer is like manifesting. Put it that way. So I pray. I'm praying. Right, universe, please provide me with a new home. I got people offering me a room and stuff. I don't want a room. I'm praying, I'm manifesting. I'm not going to tell the universe I want this, and then I'm getting all these offers and then take them, because then to me, how I see it is like, nah, I'm not going to confuse the universe. I know clearly exactly what I want, exactly what I need. I'm powerful. And you guys are powerful too. So you ask and know that you'll receive. Because the blocks to the manifesting is the ego. You're asking the universe, the creator of all things, for your new home. Or I don't know, maybe you're manifesting a person into your life, a companion, or a job or whatever, and you're manifesting and you're asking that into the universe, and then you find yourself suffering. Why are you suffering? Because you don't trust the universe. You're asking the creator of all things for something. Well, then can you not trust that? So now it's all about trust at this time too, right? So I trust that, because I don't have to suffer. I could sit here right now in my circumstances. I've got 30 days to be out in my circumstances. I could sit here now and be suffering and running around like mad. Actually, no. You know what? I've been connecting. I've been putting the word out and doing all that. Now I'm going to gracefully let the universe provide for me. And the universe will provide for me in divine timing, whether that's in 7 days, whether that's in 29 days. Okay, like Bryant says, trust and faith at this time. Exactly. Because we don't have to suffer. It's that ego that's going to make us feel the suffering. So whatever your circumstances are, okay, in Stoic Mind, you will find your place. Okay, the universe has the perfect place for you and the perfect location. I feel like this has just been a time for you to really clear out a lot of stuff in you, for you to heal a lot of stuff. That's what I'm feeling. So we need to, remember that as well through these times where we feel we are going through these things. That's deep. You're suffering because you're not trusting. Yeah. Okay. And the universe puts us in situations sometimes where we can actually feel so ripped apart. Yeah. Where we suffer so deeply, because then you get to that point where, you know, when you suffer so deeply, I'm speaking from experience, right? You suffer so deeply and you get to that point, you fully surrender into that. You fully surrender into that deep ass trauma and that deep ass grief that's coming up. This me, I see I fully surrender into that. And the more that I've done that over these 7 years since I lost my son, the more that I've done that, I keep finding these parts of me, discovering these parts of me. I was like, shit, there's a spirit within me within. And it's a beautiful thing because it's me awakening more and more, awakening more and more. And look at all the beautiful love here. We are the love frequency. I love you guys so much. I think it's such a beautiful thing, you guys coming over from my last channel here. You know, it's such a beautiful thing. And, you know, we talk about, you know, on the awakening journey because, you know, there's not many people that we feel we can relate to. But, you know, we're placed all around the earth and we're connecting through social media. And as hectic as, you know, technology has been, it's actually been very beneficial for humanity at this time too, because this is how we've been able to reach each other and spread the word of love and compassion. Okay. So, and another thing as well, because this has been a theme coming up in my life lately as well, for people who I've been giving energy healings to and just talking to, and it was a sort of a reflection on some part of me as well, okay, is forgiveness is such a big thing, okay? Forgiveness and letting go, okay? So pay attention to the themes in your life right now, okay? Are there themes in your life right now? People, scenarios, things that are coming into your life that are telling you, okay, I need to let go. There's something that you need to let go of still, or there's things you need to let go of still. Okay, this woman, she was completely bedridden. I walk in the house, okay, I'm not saying names because confidentiality. I walk into the house, okay, and there's clutter everywhere. It's cluttered. Straight away before I even seen the lady, I knew this woman's holding on to a lot of things. As soon as I put my hands on her, I said, you need to let go. And then she went on, and she's old woman, 70, and she started telling me a whole life chapter, a whole life timeline of all the people who did this, things, things. And I'm thinking, shit, this is why you're bedridden. Because when we're holding on to this shit, this is the stuff that's going to make us sick. So we need to get to that point, okay, where we trust and we have faith that we are safe. We are safe to let it go. And sometimes letting it go may feel like suffering because you got to release those tears. Okay, you may feel that sadness, you may feel that anger, and maybe you're going to feel that anger. You don't want to feel angry at someone. Okay, I recently had anger surface, okay, towards my son in spirit. And that hurt me so much because I don't want to feel angry at my Luke. And I went through these early days after losing my son, where I went through that chapter where I was suppressing the anger because I don't want to feel angry at him because it hurt me so much. But reality is, okay, I felt abandoned when I lost my son. My son was 16. I was 16 when I had Luke. I raised him. We grew up together. Luke was my security blanket from a young age because I went through abandonment. I went through all these things. Luke was my security blanket. We went through shit in life together with the ex-husband and all these things. And Luke went through the sexual trauma. We went through so much together, me and Luke. By the time Luke, you know, decided to, you know, return to spirit, I felt so abandoned and I felt so betrayed. And just recently now, because my circumstances, I'm shifting up. My house is literally packed up and I'm about to jump into the unknown again and start again. I'm sitting there feeling like these emotions are stirring within me, but through presence, you're going to understand what's going on. And that's where the healing happens. I'm sitting there in presence and I realize, shit, I still feel some angry at Luke. Okay? So I'm feeling that within me. I went to the gym and I was trying to get through this leg workout. I was tired. It was like half an hour. I thought, fuck it, I'll just half an hour in this leg workout, smash it out. And like maybe 20 minutes through, I'm feeling the energy shifting. I was like, I packed up, grabbed my towel. I left the gym. I was like, I'm going home because I need to go inwardly. I need to go inward. I come home, straight away, I chuck that speaker on. I put the microphone on. And that's my therapy. Music's my therapy. I'll do rap. I'll do hip hop. Bang. And I was like, I lit a candle. I said, Luke, I love you, but I'm healing. I got to get it out. And this is exactly what I did. Even rang my mum afterwards. I told her what happened. And I got it out. And I said, I felt abandoned. I felt betrayed. Out of all people, you left me. That's how I felt. But love and light not all the time. Watch that trap in the spiritual community. Love and light not all the time. No, because we're entitled to feel what we need to feel. If you feel angry, angry is normal to feel. It's just like sadness. It's just like happiness. It's just like joy. It's normal to feel these things. Don't suppress it. It'll make you sick. I'm telling you now. So I released it. I got it out. And then I cried. I said, that's how I feel. And I cried. I'm just getting it all out. I said, yeah, that's how I feel. And then I sat on my bed there. And I looked at his photo. And I went like, because that's me, Luke. Love is love. No matter what happened. Love is love. Love is always here to stay. So that's what I was navigating just recently. It was heavy, and all these things going on. But I could put myself in a completely suffering state because, I'm navigating that. Okay, I need to find a new home, and I'm just, I could be in a completely suffering state right now. I woke up this morning, got up, man, I've showered. I had food. I'm grateful. I live in gratitude. I choose to live in gratitude because the universe provides me. I've got a roof over my head right now. Look, I got clothes on. I have beautiful tribe here. The lights are on. So let's count our blessings and be grateful no matter what. And stay present through it. Stay present through whatever's coming up for you. Allow yourself to be real with your feels because people are shoving their feels aside. Don't shove your feels aside anymore. Allow yourself to just be real with how you're feeling, and that's okay. You don't need to feel bad because you're going to tell someone the truth because the truth will set you free. Okay, and we can't keep things clogged up anymore because that's suffering. When we're not telling someone we care about, someone we love, whether they're in spirit, the spirit will hear you. You can talk to your loved ones in spirit. Maybe it's been whatever years or whatever. You will talk to them. You can talk to them. Forgive me. You can talk to them and they will hear you. So that's therapy right there. It's very therapeutic. You get off your chest. Yeah. And then your heart will soften again. Yeah. Okay, you soften again. You lean back into that love frequency instead of the agitation. You walk past them and look at their photo. Yeah, because it's that angry. Maybe feeling guilt, whatever it is. Be real and speak to the people. Tell people how you feel. One of the biggest things as well is people are too afraid to, because people, okay, we got to do the inner work. Okay, a lot of suffering happened in childhood. We got to do that inner work, the inner child work. So sometimes that means having those uncomfortable conversations with your parents, with your mom, or with your dad, or whoever raised you. But you can do that because when you do that, you do it from compassion. You don't need to go up there and say, yeah. But no, you go to them, you tell them straight up, well, your actions and your whatever your choices were at the time or whatever affected me in a certain way. I have answers. Why this and why that? And I remember doing that. And I remember that was very liberating and very healing for me. So I encourage you to speak your truth because that's going to set you free. You can't sit there and suffer anymore. The earth is shifting. The vibration of the earth is shifting. And we're trying to raise our vibration to keep up with the earth shift. The kingdom to heaven is within. That's how we access the kingdom to heaven within. The only way through is through. I ain't going to tell you that out there. Okay, there's a lot of spiritual folk out there that are helping you bypass. Okay? They're helping you bypass. There's spiritual traps out there. Be careful of those new age spiritual cults. Okay? There's a lot of BS out there. Okay? It's all designed to keep you locked into your ego, to keep you locked into the suffering. Okay? No. You're a warrior. And you lean into it and you experience it because you're present. You bring your presence to it and things will shift a lot quicker. So just bear that in mind. Watch the ego. Watch the ego. Stoic mind. I swear, Susie, you got my message through telepathy because the other day I said to Prime Creator, I feel like this situation is trying to push the impurities out of me like a blacksmith making a sword. Yeah, one love to you, bro, because that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's been many times on my journey, okay, where I just crossed paths with people. And because when my son went through sexual trauma and my son had told me the sexual trauma, this was only a few months before he took his life. Okay, that broke me as a woman. That broke me as a mom. Absolutely destroyed me. I went through sexual trauma myself as a child. To hear my son went through it, that's when I started grieving my son there. It absolutely smashed me. Okay? And then on my healing journey, different markers on my healing journey, I cross paths with people and they're telling me, just because you're a healer, you're very empathetic, and people just gravitate towards you, start talking to you because you're a healer, okay? And then people coming to me and then just telling me all these things, sexual trauma things. That shit was breaking me up inside. I had to get away. I had to go and cry and release. But I knew in all those times, because I'm so wise, okay? I knew. And I even said, thank you, universe. Thank you for that. Because you helped me pierce through another layer. So have a look in your life, okay? As full on as it may seem, it may not seem fair, but that's not, don't even throw those words out. People use those words, it's not fair. There ain't no victim. It is fair. Everything is fair. Everything is happening for you. Let's look at things like that now. Everything is happening for you. Yeah, this person crossed my path now and triggered this in me for me. Why? Because I can finally look inward now and realize, actually, yeah, I'm the light. I'm light. I'm the awareness. I'm going to transmute all this energy within me now. Yeah. Maybe, like I know someone is in a situation where, the kid's not talking to them and they're missing their grandchild. They want to see their grandchild. And it's like, but the thing is, we can't, and I say this with one love, we can't rely on externally, okay, people and externally to fill a void within, to make us feel good within, to make us feel joyful. Because if you're going to do that, you're always going to be chasing externally, okay? The more that you come inwardly, this is where the joy, that feeling of, because it's a love frequency, it's that peace, it's that joy. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's within. That's within. The more time you spend within, okay, the more you're going to heal and the more you're going to have access to those parts of you. So then you can sit there in solitude, throw yourself in the country like me. I threw myself in the country for 2 years to heal, and I access parts of me, okay? I access parts of me that it's profound. I couldn't even, it's profound. Like, and that's what I mean. I could play victim. I lost my baby boy. I miss my son every moment of every day. Every day I wake up, I think of Luke. Every time I go to bed, good night, son, I love Luke. You know what I mean? But I knew that that happened for me to remember who I am and for me to heal my bloodline, ancestors and ancestors and ancestors. And yeah, I've had those moments where I've sat there and felt resentment. I think, this is me telling my ancestors, what, really? Yeah, shit, what, you chose me because you thought I was the solid one in our bloodline? I was legit just saying this to my mum last night. But deep down, I'm honoured. I'm honoured. And it was designed this way. This is how it was meant to be, because fate is fate. Okay, fate is fate. Yeah, we can manifest, okay, and we create our reality, but still fate is fate. It's like my birth mum took her life 5 years ago, so I can understand where you are to a degree, even though I don't have any children yet. I'm sorry to hear that. And it's such a deep pain. Grief is such a big pain. And this is a thing as well, like sometimes we feel abandoned as well, because I was talking to someone recently who, lost someone, their parents as well. And abandonment is a big thing that can come out of grief as well. Okay, and with abandonment also comes anger. So if you can allow yourself to work through those emotions, I'm not saying that you have or you haven't, bro, but if you can allow yourself to work through those emotions, and like I said to this person, that we can always speak to our loved ones in spirit, because it's very healing. Okay, know they're there. Even put a photo in front of them that this is how I feel, because me, my spirit, my higher self, I knew, okay, yeah, I get it from a spiritual side of things. I get it was Luke's time. I get it was designed this way to assist me with my ascension, to assist humanity with the ascension. I get all that. So I was just like, but then that human part of me was still hurting and still felt betrayed and still felt abandoned and angry. You see? So you have to be careful that you're not always, we have to balance it. Yes, we're spirit and we're living more spirit from our spirituality, from our higher self, I should say. But also there's a human part of us we can't neglect, which is when that anger comes up or those feels. Be real with yourself with those feels. Acknowledge those feels. It's okay that you feel that way. You don't need to feel guilty because you feel angry at your kid or your mum. I used to do that. I used to feel real guilty. I was like, I don't want to feel angry at Luke. How could I? My baby was suffering, man. He was going through some big ass trauma. We had a court case. This shit was awaiting trial and stuff. You know? So I was like, I have compassion for my son. And I know deep down he didn't mean to hurt me. Shit, he loves me so much. We are tight crew, me and Luke. Our love is so deep. Me and Luke, we've had many lifetimes together. He's my soulmate. I was pulling the angel cards. The last card I pulled for Luke when he was here on the earth, Last card I pulled for Luke, put on the table, the soulmate card. We looked at each other. What's up, bruv? You know, so love is always here. Love's here to stay. So stay in your heart, okay? Hi, Rosa. Thank you for being here. If you guys are anyone jumping on for the replay, please hit the like button and drop me a comment. And I know in my last live, guys, I said that I want to do some live streams on shadow work, and I'm thinking I still want to do that, but I'm thinking I'll just settle in my new place before I start doing those ones. Okay, so I'll continue to make videos and just jump on spontaneously or whatever, because you know I really want to help you guys with the shadow work, because you know why not? This is what we're here for: spread the love, spread the light, right? Luke is a powerful name. Well, you know what? Luke means bringer of light. So I tell you, so I felt pregnant at 15, okay? And I was like, well, I'm pregnant. How am I going to tell my mum? And I was just like, and I had decided, okay, well, I can't keep this baby. I'm a kid. Like me and Luke's father, we were young. I was 15, like he was 17. We were youngsters, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm going to tell mum. And I told mum, anyway, mum didn't take it too bad considering, okay? Thanks, Brian. Yeah, thanks, Brian. And then and then I decided I'm gonna terminate this baby because you know I'm young. What am I gonna do for baby? I decided I'm gonna terminate the baby. And then I had this moment. I'll never forget this. Had this moment. I'm standing on my nana. Nan's in spirit now. Love you, Nan. Birdie, num num. I'm standing on my nana's driveway. I put my hand on my tummy. I was like, something came over me. I was like, this is a gift from God. And I was never religious, okay? Like my father was a Muslim. My mum went through, I don't know, Muslim phase with him and stuff. But I was mum was spiritual and stuff. I was never religious, but I always believed in God, the universe, right? I put my hand and I was like, nah, this is a gift from God. And I decided I'm gonna keep this baby. I'm going to keep this baby. And Luke was the greatest gift, the most beautiful, such a beautiful gift that I experienced in this lifetime to be a mum. And yeah, physically, I miss being a mum. And I'm still a mum, and I'm still a good mum. I even went through guilt as well on my journey after losing Luke. I feel so guilty for so many different things, you know, particularly being with the person who, you know, sexually abused him. I didn't know he was that way inclined. I didn't know that I had married a pedophile. I didn't know that. So I had so much guilt come over me. I suffered so much just for guilt alone. You see what I'm saying? But I was able to look at things from a different angle and shift my perspective and look at it from a higher lens and realize that more and more who I am. And Luke's name means bringer of light, because he, like, through the darkness and through the suffering and through the loss of the most significant person in my life, I also found myself at the same time. So in those moments where you feel that there's no light, remember that you are the light. Come inward, spend time inward, and remember that you are the light, no matter what you're up against right now. So stay present and just breathe through it. Keep anchoring yourself back to your breath. When people are testing you, breathe. Okay? When you are knocked down, you're on the floor because you are releasing so deeply. Breathe. Okay? And then pick yourself up and throw yourself in the shower and go and light a sage and put your feet on the earth. Okay? And look at yourself in the mirror and own exactly who you are, because you are a warrior. Okay? And you're here at this profound time of shift. Okay? So keep shifting, my beautiful friends. Okay? And I love you all guys so much. Okay? I'll leave it here. If you guys want any help with any sort of videos or anything, just drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to deliver. Okay? Rosa, I feel like I'm going down. I'm still fighting. You know what? When you're down, okay, remember that the only way from there is back up. Okay? You're a fighter. So keep releasing it. Okay? Let it all go. You're good. You're strong. You're solid. And we're never alone. Okay? We feel alone. Physically, we feel alone. I love you, sis. I love you, Rita. We feel alone, but we're not alone, because your ancestors, they surround you. You're surrounded by so much love. You just ask. Even me lately, I'm like, universe, please give me extra support at this time. Especially when I'm feeling this angry come up at my son, and it's hurting me to feel angry, because deep down it's a real deep, sad feeling. Like, universe, please give me more support. And then last night I had like this download in my head to ring this certain person who we just recently started connecting with. And then I rang her. It was such a comforting conversation. It was beautiful. So we're never alone. Even the night before, I was purging so deeply. I said, God, please give me extra assistance at this time. And then bang, someone interstate gave me a call. You see? And straight away, she's talking about God. So ask and you'll receive. I promise you that, okay? And Stoic, brother, I hope you find your new home soon, okay? The only way out is up, Rosa. That's right. One love, Bryant. Oh, thank you guys so much. Love you guys so much. Okay, see you in the next video. Okay, stay blessed, stay loved, stay present, and stay in the light. See you guys soon, my beautiful tribe. One love, peace.